Ladies and gentlemen, hear me today. God is preparing you for greatness. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Every challenge you face, every delay, every moment of waiting, it is not random. It is divine preparation. God is shaping you, molding you, and strengthening you for a destiny far greater than you can imagine. I know sometimes life feels like it's too hard. The burdens feel heavy. The doors seem closed. You might even question, why me? Why now? But I tell you this, the very trials you despise are the tools God is using to equip you for your breakthrough. When you feel weak, that is when God is building strength. When you feel unworthy, that is when God is confirming your value. When you feel alone, that is when God is positioning angels around you. Greatness is not instant. It is not given lightly. It is earned through perseverance, obedience, faith, and patience. You see, God is not just preparing you for what you want. He's preparing you for what He knows you are capable of becoming. And what He is preparing in you will make you unstoppable. So do not despise the process. Do not resent the waiting. Do not shrink back from the challenge. Embrace it. Embrace the refining fire, for it will produce in you a resilience that cannot be shaken. God is equipping you with wisdom, courage, favor that will set you apart. Your season of greatness is approaching, but you must be ready to receive it. Stand firm in faith. Walk boldly in obedience. Speak life into your vision. Let your dreams align with God's purpose. And when your moment comes, you will rise not just to succeed, but to inspire. You will rise not just to reach your own destiny, but to open doors for others. You are being prepared for greatness. Receive it, believe it, step into it without hesitation. The very things that you are trying to avoid, the situations that feel unbearable, storms that threaten to overwhelm you, those are the instruments God is using to craft your character. I want you to hear me. Trials are not obstacles meant to destroy you. They are tools, divine tools designed to mold you into someone stronger, wiser, powerful than you could ever imagine. Every setback, every disappointment, every moment of pain is a step on the pathway to your destiny. I know sometimes you look at your life and you feel frustrated. You feel like you've done all the right things, prayed all the right prayers, walked in obedience, and yet the answers haven't come. The doors haven't opened. And in those moments, it is easy to think that God has forgotten you. The truth, the undeniable truth, is that God is not late. He is not absent. He is working behind the scenes, quietly, meticulously, shaping every detail of your life to prepare you for the greatness that awaits you. Trials are the crucibles of character. Think about it. Gold is not gold until it is passed through fire. Diamonds are not diamonds until pressure is applied. And so it is with your life. Without trials, you cannot be refined. Without challenges, you cannot be strengthened. Without adversity, you cannot gain the depth, the wisdom, and the resilience that is required for true greatness. Every test you face is a teacher. Every hardship is a hidden blessing. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow into the person God has called you to be. You see, trials expose what is hidden inside of you. They reveal the strength you didn't know you had. They bring out courage that was dormant, patience that was undeveloped, and faith that was shallow. When life is easy, it's tempting to coast. But when life gets hard, that is when you discover the depth of your resolve. That is when you learn that you are stronger than your circumstances, more capable than your fears, and more resilient than your setbacks. The storm is not there to drown you. It is there to train you. God does not allow trials to break you. He allows them to build you. He does not send hardship to punish you. He sends it to prepare you. Every challenge, every season of testing, every moment that feels overwhelming is intentional. God is using it to develop a strength in you that cannot be learned in comfort. Comfort will never produce the courage that adversity does. Ease will never produce the endurance that hardship brings. And safety will never produce the boldness that comes from overcoming struggle. Many of you have been in a place where you questioned the purpose of your suffering. You wondered why things were so difficult, why life felt heavy, why it seemed as if every step forward was met with 2 steps back. But I want to tell you something, these trials are shaping you. They are stretching you. They are forcing you to grow in ways that nothing else can. And the beauty of it is that once you pass through these trials, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the destiny that God has for you. Trials teach lessons that no classroom or mentor can provide. They teach humility, perseverance, patience, and the ability to trust in God even when you cannot see the way forward. They teach you that your faith is not just words, it is action. That your strength is not just physical, it is spiritual. That your courage is not just bravado. It is rooted in the understanding that God is with you. Even when everything around you seems to be falling apart, growth does not happen in comfort. It happens in pressure. It happens in pain. Happens when you feel like giving up but choose to stand anyway. When you are tested, you discover what you are truly made of. When you are stretched, you grow into capacities you never thought possible. And when you are refined, you are prepared for greatness. Every trial is a stepping stone. Every struggle a lesson. Every setback a setup for a comeback. Do not despise the trials. Do not curse the hardships. Do not complain about the challenges. Embrace them. Welcome them as the tools that God is using to shape your character. Understand that every difficulty you face is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a transformation. Your trials are not punishments. They are provisions. They are the divine mechanisms through which you are being readied for something far greater than you have imagined. This growth is not always easy. It is not always comfortable. It is not always convenient. Sometimes the process will hurt. Sometimes it will be exhausting. Sometimes it will feel unfair, but every step, every moment, every tear, every test is building within you a strength that cannot be taken away, a wisdom that cannot be stolen, and a faith that cannot be shaken. These trials are producing a resilience in you that will serve as the foundation for your success. The world often teaches us to avoid pain, to seek comfort, to escape struggle, but God teaches us something different. God teaches us that the greatest growth comes through the greatest challenges. He teaches us that our trials are not punishments, but preparations. He teaches us that every difficulty is an opportunity for growth. Every obstacle is an occasion for learning, and every hardship is a platform for transformation. So, when life gets hard, don't despair. Don't give up. Don't shrink back. Stand tall. Stand firm. Recognize that the trials you face are the very tools God is using to prepare you for your breakthrough. Recognize that the struggles you endure are equipping you for the success you are destined to achieve. Recognize that the challenges in your life are not there to stop you. They are there to grow you. You are being shaped. You are being strengthened. You are being prepared, and one day when you look back, you will see that the very trials that once seemed unbearable were the very tools that made you ready for your destiny. You will see that every tear was a teacher, every disappointment a divine appointment, and every struggle a stepping stone to greatness. Greatness. So embrace the trials. Walk through them with faith. Let them teach you, refine you, and strengthen you. And remember this, God is using every trial in your life to prepare you for greatness. He is using every struggle to grow you into the person you were created to be. When you finally emerge from the fire, you will be stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. You are not a victim of your trials. You are a victor in the making. You are not defined by your struggles. You are defined by your growth through those struggles. And today I want you to declare with me, I will not fear the trials. I will embrace the process. I will grow. I will rise. I am being prepared for greatness. Patience is not weakness. Patience is not idleness. Patience is not simply waiting. No, patience is power. It is a divine strength that the world does not understand. Spiritual muscle that develops only when you learn to trust the process, trust the timing, and trust the one who is orchestrating your life. Too often, we mistake impatience for ambition, hasty decisions for progress, and quick results for true success. But the truth is this, the greatest victories, the most remarkable breakthroughs, and the most extraordinary destinies are reserved for those who can endure the wait. Impatience will cost you. Impatience will make you settle for less than what God has for you. Impatience will lead you down the road of regret, compromise, and missed opportunities. Patience positions you for favor. Patience aligns you with purpose. Patience prepares you for the moment when God's blessing arrives. It will be more than you could have imagined. There is a power in waiting, a strength in enduring, and a wisdom in trusting that your timing is not your own, God's. So many people fail to recognize that patience is active, not passive. Patience does not mean you do nothing. It does not mean you stop pursuing, planning, or working. Patience means you pursue with faith, you work with discipline, and you plan with diligence, all while trusting that God's timing is perfect. You see, God's clock is never early and never late. It is always precise. And when you learn to align your pace with His timing, you tap into a power that cannot be rushed, forced, or fabricated. The seed does not sprout the moment it is planted. The tree does not bear fruit the day the sapling is set in the soil. The river does not carve the canyon in a single day. Every great thing in life, every lasting success, every deep and meaningful accomplishment comes through a process that requires patience. The waiting season is where your character is built, your faith is strengthened, and your vision is clarified. It is in the waiting that you grow in wisdom, resilience, and understanding. Patience is the training ground for power. I know it's hard sometimes. I know the waiting can feel unbearable. You pray, you hope, you do everything you know to do, and yet the answer seems delayed, the breakthrough seems distant, door seems closed. But that waiting, that pause, is not a punishment, it is preparation. God is using the time to perfect you, to position you, and to protect you. And there is a power in that preparation, a force that cannot be replicated, and a strength that cannot be hurried. Patience teaches you restraint. Patience teaches you trust. Patience teaches you discernment. When you wait, you learn to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important. You learn to separate the noise from the signal, the temporary from the eternal. You learn to recognize that not everything that demands your attention is worthy of your energy. And in that discipline, in that self-control, you gain a power that will serve you for a lifetime. Impatience leads to mistakes. Impatience leads to regret. Impatience leads to compromise. Patience allows you to make decisions with clarity, act with wisdom, and move with confidence. When you wait on God, when you trust His timing, you position yourself to receive more than you could have planned, anticipated, or imagined. Patience is not waiting for life to happen. It is actively preparing yourself to step into the fullness of your destiny when the moment arrives. Patience is power. Every delay, every pause, every moment of waiting is a building block. Every period of waiting develops resilience. Every season of waiting sharpens your character. Every moment of waiting teaches you lessons that only time can teach. And when your moment comes, when your season arrives, you will step into it with wisdom, with strength, with clarity, and with power that cannot be denied. Too often, we rush. We try to force outcomes. We try to manipulate situations. We try to create results before the time is right. And what happens? We crash, we burn, we falter. Those who have learned patience understand that timing is everything. The right step at the wrong time will lead to failure. But the right step at the right time will lead to favor, breakthrough, and lasting success. Patience positions you to move in alignment with God's perfect plan. Think about Joseph in the Bible. He was betrayed, sold, imprisoned, and forgotten. He waited years in obscurity, facing injustices that could have broken his spirit. But he never quit. He never lost faith. He endured the waiting. And when the time came, he rose from prison to the palace, from forgotten to favored, from suffering to sovereign authority. That is the power of patience. That is the strength that comes from trusting the process, enduring the wait, and believing that God's timing is perfect. Patience is not just about waiting for good things to happen. It is about learning, growing, and preparing during the wait. It is about understanding that every moment of waiting is an opportunity to strengthen your mind, refine your character, and build your faith. It is about embracing the process, trusting that God's plan is unfolding, and knowing that the best is yet to come. So, if you are in a season of waiting, do not despair. Do not rush. Do not give up. Use this time to grow, to prepare, to learn, and to strengthen. Let patience teach you discipline. Patience develop your faith. And let patience shape your character. When your moment comes, you will not only be ready, you will be unstoppable. power of patience unmatched. It gives you endurance when the world is weary. It gives you wisdom when others are blind. It gives you favor when timing is everything. Patience is not passive, it is active. It is a strength that positions you for success, a spiritual weapon that protects you from hasty decisions, and a divine tool that aligns you with your destiny. Do not despise the wait. Do not resent the delay. Do not underestimate the power that is being formed in you through patience. Every day of waiting is a day of preparation. Trial in patience is a step toward power. And when your season arrives, you will look back and realize that the waiting was not wasted. It was the very thing that gave you the strength, wisdom, and authority to rise to your greatness. Greatness does not arrive by accident. Greatness does not fall into your lap. Greatness is not the result of luck or chance or convenience. No, greatness is intentional. Greatness is deliberate. Greatness is forged in preparation long before it ever appears in the spotlight. And the truth is, God is preparing you for the life of impact, influence, authority that He has designed for you, but you must be willing to be prepared. You see, the world often glorifies instant success, fast results, overnight achievements. But true greatness is never instant. It is never effortless. It is never achieved without the refining, molding, shaping that preparation demands. Think about it. Every athlete, every musician, every leader, every entrepreneur, every spiritual giant you admire went through preparation. They trained when no one was watching. They studied when it was inconvenient. They persevered when it was painful. And it was in those unseen seasons, those quiet moments of discipline and diligence, that greatness was formed. Preparation is not a punishment. Preparation is not a delay. Preparation is a divine design. The waiting, the practice, the challenges, they are all part of the blueprint God has created for you. Every lesson you learn, every skill you develop, every trial you endure is equipping you for the responsibilities of greatness. God is not simply giving you a gift. He is preparing you to steward that gift with wisdom, with humility, and with excellence. Think about a master craftsman. Before a work of art is unveiled, the artist spends hours, days, even years refining the details. The sculptor chisels away at the stone, not to destroy it, but to reveal the masterpiece within. Painter layers color after color, perfecting every stroke before the final reveal. In the same way, God is preparing you. Every challenge you face, every delay you encounter, every moment that tests your patience is a stroke, a cut, a layer in the masterpiece that He is forming in your life. Greatness requires preparation because responsibility accompanies power. The higher you go, the greater the calling. God knows that you cannot be entrusted with influence until you have been equipped to handle it. That is why the preparation process is so critical. It is in the preparation that your character is strengthened. It is in the preparation that your faith is fortified. It is in the preparation that your mind is sharpened and your spirit is aligned with God's vision for your life. Without preparation, greatness will falter. Without preparation, power can be misused. Without preparation, opportunity can be wasted. I know many of you want to skip the preparation. You want to jump straight to the promotion. You want the results without the work. You want the blessing without the build-up. But listen to me. God's timing is perfect. He will not place you in a position you are not ready for. He will not entrust you with influence until He has fully prepared you. Preparation may feel long. It may feel hard. It may feel frustrating. But it is in that preparation that your potential is activated. It is in that preparation that your destiny is secured. Preparation requires patience, but it also requires intentionality. You cannot simply wait and hope that greatness will find you. You must prepare. You must develop your skills, sharpen your mind, strengthen your character, deepen your faith. You must do the work behind the scenes that nobody sees. You must study, practice, learn, grow while others are distracted by shortcuts and instant gratification. Every hour of preparation, every sacrifice, every moment of diligence is an investment in your future greatness. Consider the story of Joseph. Before he became the prime minister of Egypt, Joseph endured betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment. He could have given up. He could have been bitter. He could have walked away from his dreams. He remained faithful. He continued to grow in wisdom, and he used every moment of preparation to learn, to mature, to position himself for the moment when God's favor would be revealed. His greatness was not immediate. It was cultivated. His authority was not instantaneous. It was earned through preparation. You see, the truth is that preparation is the difference between a fleeting moment of success and a legacy of greatness. Preparation equips you with the knowledge, the experience, and the discernment to navigate challenges when they come. Preparation strengthens your heart to endure trials without compromise. Preparation fortifies your spirit so that when opportunity arises, you are not only ready, you are unstoppable. Greatness is not luck, it is readiness. Readiness comes only through preparation. Preparation also requires humility. It requires the willingness to submit to the process, to accept correction, to embrace growth, and to endure periods of obscurity. Too often, we want recognition before we are ready. We want applause before we have learned the lessons. Humility allows us to honor the preparation process, to respect the waiting period, and to understand that God's timing and method are perfect. Humility allows us to absorb the lessons of preparation, to develop the endurance required for greatness, and to emerge from the process fully equipped for the calling ahead. God does not prepare you for greatness in order to make you comfortable. He prepares you to make you capable. He does not prepare you to give you temporary success. He prepares you to give you lasting impact. He does not prepare you to merely survive in your calling. He prepares you to thrive, to lead, and to transform lives. Preparation is not punishment. It is empowerment. It is the secret behind every victory, the foundation behind every breakthrough, the reason why some rise above every challenge while others falter. So do not despise the preparation. Do not resist the discipline. Do not resent the waiting. Embrace it. Embrace it with faith, with diligence, and with determination. Every hour you spend learning, growing, developing yourself is an hour that positions you for greatness. Every trial you endure with perseverance is a step that strengthens your resolve. Every season of waiting with patience is a season that deepens your faith. And when the time comes, you will step into your calling with power, wisdom, and authority that cannot be denied. Greatness is not given, it is earned. Greatness is not immediate, it is cultivated. Greatness is not accidental, it is intentional. And God is preparing you, molding you, and equipping you to rise to the fullness of your calling. You will not be caught unprepared. You will not falter when opportunity arrives. You will step into your greatness because you have allowed God to prepare you, refine you, and empower you for the work He has called you to do. Faith is not just believing when you see. Faith is not just believing when everything is going your way. Faith is believing when the circumstances look impossible, when the odds are stacked against you, the world tells you to give up, and when every sign seems to point to delay or defeat. Faith is the force that carries you through the process. Faith is the power that allows you to trust God's plan, even when the timing does not match your expectations. And faith in the process is the secret to every breakthrough, every victory, and every moment of true greatness. I know how hard it can be to wait. I know how painful it can feel to do all the right things and yet not see immediate results. You pray, you work, you plan, you sacrifice, and still the outcome seems distant. And in that distance, doubt whispers in your ear. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe you are not enough. Maybe God forgot you. But I tell you today, the process is working, even when you cannot see it. The delay is deliberate. The wait is intentional. Growth that is occurring within you is unseen, but immeasurably valuable. Faith in the process means trusting that God is at work even when you cannot trace His hand. It means believing that the struggles, the setbacks, the delays are all part of a greater plan that is beyond your understanding. It is easy to have faith when everything is smooth, when life is convenient. Doors are opening and paths are clear. But the real test, the real demonstration of faith is when you continue to trust during the waiting season, during the trial, during the storm. That is when your faith matures. That is when your faith becomes unshakable. When your faith positions you for greatness. Nothing in life worth having comes without a process. The river carves the canyon over centuries, the seed becomes a tree over years, and the diamond forms under pressure over millennia. In the same way, your life, your dreams, your destiny is being formed, shaped, and refined through a process. And if you try to bypass the process, if you try to rush the timing, if you try to force the outcome, you risk losing the blessing, the lesson, and the power that comes through trusting and enduring the process. Faith in the process teaches patience. Patience is power. Faith in the process teaches endurance, and endurance produces strength. Faith in the process teaches hope. Hope sustains you when circumstances seem unbearable. And the beauty of faith is this: it is not dependent on your understanding, your logic, or your timing. Faith trusts the one who knows the beginning from the end, who sees the unseen, and who orchestrates every detail of your life for your good. Process is not just about the outcome, it is about the transformation. Faith in the process allows God to work in your heart, refine your character, and strengthen your spirit. Sometimes what we think we need is the destination, but what God is really focused on is the development, the waiting, the refining, the stretching. It is all a part of His process to shape you into the person capable of handling the breakthrough when it arrives. Faith allows you to surrender control, trust His wisdom, and embrace the journey, knowing that the destination will be perfect. Consider Joseph, who spent years in a pit in slavery and in prison before he saw the fulfillment of God's promise. He had every reason to despair. He had every reason to quit, yet he trusted the process. He believed that God was at work even when the path seemed impossible, and because of his faith in the process, he emerged not only with favor and authority, but with wisdom, maturity, and character that enabled him to lead an entire nation. His story reminds us that faith in the process is not passive, it is active, it is intentional, and it is transformational. Faith in the process also protects you from frustration, despair, and regret. When you trust the journey, you do not panic when doors close, opportunities delay, circumstances challenge you. You understand that every step is a part of a divine design. Every trial is a teacher. Every delay is a layer of preparation. Every season of uncertainty is a setup for something greater than you could have imagined. Faith allows you to see the unseen, believe the impossible, endure the waiting without losing hope. Faith in the process does not mean you sit idly by. It does not mean you abandon effort, preparation, or diligence. Faith in the process works hand in hand with action. It is the discipline to keep moving forward even when the results are delayed. It is the wisdom to continue preparing while trusting that God's timing is perfect. It is the courage to step boldly even when the path is unclear, because you know the unseen hand of God is guiding you every step of the way. Faith in the process is a declaration that you trust God more than your circumstances. It is a commitment to believe that His plan is perfect. Even when your understanding is limited, it is a refusal to be discouraged by what you see and a decision to be empowered by what you believe. It is the assurance that God is working all things together for your good, even if the evidence is not immediately visible. The process is not wasted. The waiting is not meaningless. The struggles are not pointless. Every season of preparation, every test of patience, every trial you endure is building within you a faith that is unshakable, a character that is strong, and a spirit that is ready to embrace your destiny. And when your moment comes, when your breakthrough arrives, you will not only recognize it, you will be prepared for it. So if you are in a season of uncertainty, a season of waiting, a season of struggle, I want you to stand firm. Hold on to your faith. Trust God's timing. Believe in the process. Know that every step you take, every challenge you overcome, and every day you endure is a step closer to the fulfillment of your destiny. Faith in the process is not easy, but it is powerful. It is not immediate, but it is eternal. And it is not passive, but it positions you to rise to greatness. I trust the process. I believe in God's timing. I will not be discouraged by delays. I will not be shaken by trials. I will hold on to faith. I will rise to the destiny God has prepared for me. Remember, this faith in the process is the secret to turning waiting into opportunity, trials into lessons, and delays into preparation. It allows you to move forward with confidence, strength, and courage, knowing that the best is yet to come. positions you for breakthroughs that are bigger than your imagination and blessings that exceed your expectations. Faith in the process is not just believing, it is trusting, enduring, preparing, and thriving while the work of God unfolds in your life. Greatness cannot be achieved without alignment. You can have talent, you can have opportunity, you can have vision, but if your life is not aligned with God's purpose, it will not produce lasting impact. You can chase success, wealth, or recognition. If it is out of alignment with the divine plan, it will leave you empty, frustrated, and unfulfilled. Alignment with purpose is the secret that separates temporary achievement from eternal significance, and it is the foundation upon which true greatness is built. I know some of you are working hard, giving your all, and yet feeling like something is missing. You may have a career, a ministry, or a dream that looks good on paper, but it does not feel right in your soul. That unease, that discomfort, that restlessness, it is God's way of telling you, you are not fully aligned with the purpose I have for you. And the good news is God has a plan for you. He has a calling for you. He has a destiny designed specifically for you. And alignment with that purpose is your pathway to power, fulfillment, and influence. Alignment with purpose requires clarity. You must know who you are in God, what you are called to do, and the impact you are meant to have. Many people drift through life, allowing circumstances, peer pressure, or fear to dictate their decisions. But the person who is aligned with purpose is intentional. They know their calling. They understand their strengths. They pursue their vision with focus and determination. They are not swayed by trends or distracted by the applause of the world because their eyes are fixed on the divine blueprint of their life. Purpose alignment also requires obedience. It is not enough to know your calling. You must live it. You must make decisions, set priorities, and take actions that reflect your alignment with God's plan. May mean saying no to opportunities that look good but are not right. That may mean sacrificing comfort, convenience, immediate gain for the sake of long-term fulfillment. That may mean walking a narrow path while the world applauds shortcuts. But when you align with purpose, you position yourself for impact, favor, and the manifestation of your destiny. Consider the story of Esther. She was placed in a palace, in a position of influence, at a time when her people were in danger. Her life could have been about comfort, luxury, or personal ambition, but she recognized that she was aligned with a higher purpose. She took action, used her position wisely, fulfilled the calling she had been prepared for. Alignment with purpose allowed her to change the course of history, to save a nation, to rise to greatness. And that is what alignment does. It positions you to fulfill your destiny and leave a legacy that transcends your own life. Alignment with purpose requires discernment. You must be able to distinguish between what is good and what is best, between what is convenient and what is right, between temporary opportunities and eternal impact. Many people chase dreams that seem promising, but because they are not aligned with God's plan, they lead to disappointment, frustration, and wasted effort. But when you learn to discern, to listen to the voice of God, to step in obedience to your calling, you open the door to favor, breakthrough, and success that is both meaningful and lasting. Alignment with purpose also requires patience. God's timing is perfect, and sometimes the preparation takes longer than you would like. You may have to wait for the right season, the right opportunity, or the right alignment of circumstances. But patience is not passive. It is active trust. It is believing that God is orchestrating the details, positioning the right people, and opening the right doors so that when you step into your purpose, it will be fully effective and unstoppable. Those who align with purpose understand that rushing, forcing, manipulating circumstances will not produce lasting results. They wait for God's timing, and in that waiting, their impact is multiplied. Alignment with purpose amplifies power. When you are in line with God's plan, you are strengthened in ways that cannot be explained by human effort. Doors open that no one can close. Favor flows in ways that defy logic. Influence increases and opportunities multiply. Alignment creates synergy between your gifts, your calling, and the resources around you. It allows you to operate in your maximum capacity and fulfill your destiny with excellence. But alignment also protects you. When you are aligned with purpose, you are less likely to be derailed by distractions, deception, or detours. The world may offer glittering alternatives, but if you are aligned, you have the discernment to say no to what is not yours. You avoid unnecessary conflict, wasted energy, and missed opportunities. Alignment is both a shield and a guide. It keeps you on track while positioning you to rise at the right moment, in the right way, and with the right impact. Alignment with purpose requires courage. It may not be popular. It may not be easy. It may require standing alone, making tough decisions, or facing criticism. But the courage to align with your divine purpose is what sets apart ordinary people from those who leave a legacy. Courage allows you to step into the unknown, take risks that are calculated by faith, and to trust that God's plan is greater than any fear or doubt. Your life has a purpose. Your calling is real. Your destiny is significant. But it will not be realized accidentally. It will not be fulfilled by chance. It will be achieved through alignment of your mind, your heart, your actions, and your decisions with the plan of God. And when you do, you will find that the effort, the discipline, the patience, and the courage all converge into a life of power, influence, and lasting impact. So today, I challenge you to examine your life. Are you aligned with your purpose? Are your choices, your relationships, your work, and your focus pointing toward the destiny God has for you? Or are you drifting, distracted, or chasing what the world says is valuable? Alignment requires intention, commitment, and obedience, but the reward is immeasurable. Alignment turns potential into power, vision into victory, preparation into destiny. Declare it with me. I will align my life with God's purpose. I will trust His plan. I will act in obedience. I will wait in faith. I will walk boldly into the calling He has for me. I am aligned, and I am ready for greatness. Alignment with purpose is the key that unlocks your destiny. It is the pathway to power, influence, and fulfillment. Transforms preparation into action, faith into breakthrough, and vision into reality. Without alignment, greatness is fleeting. With alignment, greatness is unstoppable. So align your heart, your mind, and your life with the purpose God has designed for you. And watch as He turns your preparation into a legacy that will impact generations. You were not created just to exist. You were not created just to survive. You were created to rise. You were created to shine. You were created to inspire. God has placed within you gifts, talents, and abilities that are meant to touch lives, transform communities, and leave a legacy that will echo for generations. But here is the truth. Rising is not only about achieving personal success, it is about inspiring others to see what is possible, to reach for their own greatness, and to walk boldly in their purpose. Your life is meant to be more than a story of survival. It is meant to be a story of influence, impact, and inspiration. Too often, we underestimate the power of our testimony. We think that our struggles, our scars, and our victories are only for us. But I tell you today, your journey is a roadmap for someone else's breakthrough. Your triumph over adversity is a beacon for someone who is still in the storm. Your rise is not just personal, it is communal. When you rise, you inspire. And when you inspire, you unleash a ripple effect that touches lives you may never even meet. Rising to inspire requires courage, requires stepping out even when the world doubts you. It requires moving forward even when the path is unclear. Requires embracing your purpose with boldness, even in the face of fear, rejection, or criticism. Many people are held back because they fear what others will think or because they are afraid of failing. But faith tells us that when God calls you, He equips you. And when God positions you, He empowers you. Your rise is not dependent on approval. It is dependent on obedience. And when you obey, you become a source of inspiration to others. You must understand this inspiration is born from authenticity. People are inspired not by perfection, by persistence. They are moved not by appearances, but by overcoming. They are touched not by wealth or status, but by the courage to keep moving when the odds are stacked against you. Your life, with all its trials, triumphs, and testimonies, can become a powerful message of hope for someone who is struggling, someone who feels unseen, someone who feels unheard. Rising to inspire begins with embracing who you are, where you have been, and what you have overcome. Consider the story of Moses. He was called to lead a nation, a task that seemed impossible. He faced doubt, resistance, and fear, yet he rose to inspire an entire people. His life was a testament to faith, perseverance, obedience, and his story reminds us that when you rise, you do more than achieve personal victory. You ignite change, you spark faith, and you leave a legacy that cannot be erased. Rising to inspire also requires empathy. It requires seeing beyond yourself. It requires understanding that your journey is intertwined with the lives of others. The more you grow, the more you realize that your influence matters. The more you overcome, the more you can encourage, the more you shine, the more you can light the way for someone still in darkness. Your life is a lamp, your testimony is a guide, and your courage is a call for others to step into their own greatness. You cannot rise in isolation. The world needs your influence. The world needs your voice. The world needs your example. Your rise is not about ego. It is about impact. It is about demonstrating what is possible when faith meets action, when preparation meets purpose, and when persistence meets divine guidance. You rise not just for yourself. You rise so that others can see, believe, and achieve. Rising to inspire also requires resilience. You will face setbacks. You will encounter opposition. You will meet moments of doubt. But the higher your calling, the stronger the resistance. The greater your purpose, the more powerful the challenges. And that is why resilience is essential. When you rise despite the difficulties, you show others that victory is possible. When you continue forward despite the pain, you teach perseverance. When you trust God despite the delay, you model faith. Your resilience is a living lesson for those who are watching. Do not underestimate the power of your example. People learn more from what you do than what you say. They feel encouragement not from empty words, but from your demonstrated faith, your disciplined action, and your refusal to quit. When you rise, you inspire others to rise. When you embrace your destiny, you empower others to embrace theirs. When you pursue greatness with integrity, courage, and faith, you create a ripple effect that can transform families, communities, and nations. Rising to inspire also requires humility. You cannot inspire others if you are consumed by pride or self-centered ambition. True inspiration flows from a heart that recognizes God as the source, that acknowledges the support of others, and that seeks to lift people rather than dominate them. Humility allows your rise to be sustainable. Humility allows your influence to be positive. Humility allows your life to be a beacon of hope rather than a source of comparison or envy. Rising to inspire is a choice. It is a decision to embrace your calling, overcome your fears, and move forward despite the obstacles. It is a decision to be a light in a world that often feels dark. It is a decision to use your story, your testimony, and your triumphs to empower others to dream bigger, aim higher, and trust in their potential. Your rise is not just for your glory. It is for the glory of God and the good of humanity. Declare with me today, I will rise. I will embrace my purpose. I will overcome my fears. I will trust God's plan. I will inspire others through my life, my actions, and my testimony. I will rise to greatness and lead by example. I will leave a legacy of faith, hope, and courage. The world is watching. Your community is watching. Your family is watching. And your influence matters. Your rise is a signal to those who are still in the shadows that breakthrough is possible. Your rise is a message to the next generation that faith, preparation, and perseverance are worth it. Your rise is proof that God's promises are true. Destiny can be fulfilled, and that greatness is available to anyone who refuses to quit. So rise with confidence. Rise with courage. Rise with faith. Rise with the knowledge that your story, your life, and your actions can ignite hope in someone else. Rise not just for yourself, for all those who will follow, all those who will be encouraged, and all those who need to see that triumph is possible. Your rise is your responsibility. Your rise is your legacy. Your rise is your gift to the world. Rising to inspire is not optional for those called to greatness. It is essential. It is the culmination operation, faith, alignment, and courage. It is the moment when all your trials, all your lessons, all your persistence, all your purpose come together to create impact. Rise fully, rise boldly, rise unapologetically, and let your life be the inspiration that changes the world.